please welcome your host, Anthony Davis. Welcome to Stakeout, TV's ruthless and compelling quiz show, where the players bring £250 into the studio to play the game. The players have to pick on each other to survive. They have to take risks to win. Losers are eliminated, but winners can keep on winning and turn their starting stake of £250 into thousands of pounds. So let's play Stakeout. On our last show, we were just about to play Face-Off, but before we do, let's reacquaint ourselves with the players and their money totals so far. Daniel, you're holding £400. Remember, you came to the game with 500 quid, so you seem to have dropped there by £100. Keith, you have £500. You haven't really moved at all, but Steve and Heidi tying right now at the top there with £600. That's how the game stands at the moment. Let's play Face-Off. This is where Stakeout takes a nasty turn, as it's time for our players to get personal as they pick on each other. I'm going to ask each of them in turn to pick a player to play against, a question category to play with, and a stake to play for. We'll play face-off until only 2 players remain. Now, Steve and Heidi are in the lead. They're tied with £600, but we start with Steve, as, of course, you are our champion. So, Steve, please, I need you to pick a player to play against, a category and a stake. The most you can play for is everything your opponent has, as long as you can match it. OK? So, firstly, a player. Who's it going to be?
I'll choose Daniel, please. OK,
you're playing against Daniel. Now, a category you have from the following: movies, pop, history, science and nature, or food.
Food.
Food, OK. And now, an amount to play for. Now, it seems that Daniel only has £400, so you can play all of that, or you can take a lower total. It's up to you, Steve.
I'll play for £400.
£400, OK. You're trying to stay there as a champion, it seems. OK, listen carefully. This is a face-off between Daniel and Steve. Here comes the question. Which fruit is traditionally used to make perry? Steve.
Pears.
Pears is correct. Well done there. £400 added to yours. Now, Daniel, you've gone down to 0. You have no money left, which means you've been bankrupted. It's time for you to leave the game.
I thought the opposition were very hard. The previous champion who won the previous show, he was very good, and I was a bit dubious about going up against him, and he managed to pick me to actually the face-off, and I didn't really want to do that, but he did, and I'm here.
Still 3 players left in the game, so we continue with face-off. Heidi, it's your turn for a question now, but first I need you to choose a player to play against. Who's it going to be?
Keith, please.
OK, you're playing against Keith, which is fine, but now a category with which to play. From the following: movies, pop, history, or science and nature.
Science and nature, please.
Science and nature. OK, now, how much of Keith's money are you prepared to play for here? He's holding £500, and you have £600.
£300, please.
£300, OK. Well, listen carefully, please, because this is between you and Keith. On your buzzers. Here comes your question. What name is given to the wild dog of Australia? Keith.
Dingo.
Dingo is correct. Well done. You take £300 from Heidi. It takes you up to £800. OK, Keith, it's time for your face-off question now. I need you to choose a player, please, to play against. Who's it going to be?
I think it has to be Heidi.
It has to be Heidi, doesn't it? OK,
yes.
Now, a category from the following. You only have movies, pop, or history to choose from.
History.
History, OK. And now an amount to play for. Now, remember, Heidi only has £300.
It'll have to be £300.
It will have to be £300. OK, it's a face-off between Heidi and Keith. Stand by. Here comes your question. Which of the 7 wonders of the ancient world is attributed to Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon? Heidi.
The Hanging Gardens of Babylon.
It is the Hanging Gardens of Babylon. Well done. You've doubled your money there. You're up to £600 now, OK? It's time for Steve's face-off now. A player to play against. Steve, who's it going to be?
Keith, please.
Keith, OK. He's got £500 there. Now, a category from you, please, Steve. Now, we've refreshed the category board. You can choose from TV, sport, literature, politics or geography. What's it going to be?
Literature, please.
Literature, OK. Now, an amount that you're prepared to play for here. Now, if you're playing against Keith, remember, he only has £500 there. How much of his money are you prepared to play?
500, please.
£500. OK. I think we know what you're doing. Here it comes. It's a face-off between Steve and Keith. Listen carefully. Played on TV by Derek Jacobi, which fictional monk detective was created by Ellis Peters? Keith.
Cadfael.
Brother Cadfael is correct. Well done. You've doubled your stake there. You're up to £1,000. Heidi, it's time now for your face-off question. Firstly, a player to play against. Who's it going to be?
Steve, please.
Playing against Steve. OK, now a category you have from the following: TV, sport, politics or geography.
TV, please.
TV, OK. And now an amount you're prepared to play for. Steve's holding £500 there at the moment.
I guess it should be 500 then, please.
I think it should be. OK, Steve, this is a face-off between Heidi and Steve. Here comes the question. Which lads were played on TV by James Bolam? Steve.
The Likely Lads.
The Likely Lads. Very well done. You've just taken £500 from Heidi. OK, Keith, it's time now for your face-off question again. Firstly, who are you going to play against?
Well, it has to be Heidi again.
It has to be Heidi. And now a category from sport, politics or geography.
Geography.
Geography, OK. And now an amount you're prepared to play for. Heidi's only holding £100 there.
It'll have to be £100.
It'll have to be £100, OK? It's a face-off between Keith and Heidi for £100. Here comes your question. Great Yarmouth and Norwich can be found in which Heidi?
Lincolnshire.
It's not Lincolnshire, no. I can offer that to Keith. Keith.
Norfolk.
Norfolk is correct. Well done. You've taken £100 from Heidi. Which means, Heidi, you are down to nothing. You have no money left. It's time for you to leave Stakeout.
The opposition were weak. If my finger had been faster, I would have walked with the money. Tonight, we're all planning on celebrating in a big way. Unfortunately, we've not got any money to do it with.
OK, let's see how those totals are standing right now. Steve, you're holding £1,000, but Keith out there in the lead with £1,100. We're down to 2 players, so let's play All or Nothing. As the name suggests, one of you will leave with nothing. The other will take the lot. This All or Nothing is a buzz around head-to-head. The stakes start at £100 and rise rapidly. Get it right and you win the stake from your opponent. When you can no longer match a stake, you'll play for what you have left. Sudden death or double your stake. Steve, our current champion, you've got £1,000. Keith, you've got £1,100. So there's £2,100 to play for. Can Steve, our current champion, do it for a 3rd time? Good luck to you both. Here comes your first question. The hits of which Liverpool girl group include Whole Again and Eternal Flame? Steve.
Atomic Kitten.
Atomic Kitten, well done. That's £100 there. Next question. Tom Cruise reprised his role as Ethan Hunt.
Mission Impossible 2.
Correct for £200. Penfold was the sidekick of which cartoon rodent superhero? Steve.
Danger Mouse.
Danger Mouse, well done for £300, takes you to £1,200. In 2001, American Lance Armstrong won which famous cycling competition?
Tour
Keith.
de France.
The Tour de France is correct, well done for £400. Which English physicist wrote A Brief History of Time? Steve.
Stephen Hawking.
It is, of course, Stephen Hawking. Well done, £500 there. In 1215, what was sealed by King John at Runnymede? Steve.
The Magna Carta.
Is correct, well done for £750. OK, it's sudden death now. £50 you have there, Keith. That's all we can play for. Here comes the question. La Scala is an opera house. Keith.
Milan.
Milan, correct. Well done. You're back in the game. You've doubled that to 100. Here comes the next question. In which House of Parliament can you visit the Strangers Gallery? Steve.
House of Lords.
House of Lords is incorrect, I'm afraid. Keith, you can buzz in here.
House of Commons.
House of Commons, correct. Well done. You've doubled your stake. You're up to £200 now. Here comes the next question for £200. Which Richard Adams 1972 novel? Steve.
Watership Down.
Watership Down. Very well done. Look at that, Keith. You're down to no money. I'm afraid that he's taken you out. You have been bankrupted. Keith, it's time for you to leave the game.
Thank you.
I feel great. It's been an experience. It's been really nice. Everyone's been friendly. Sorry I've lost, but it's not the end of the world.
It's a shame my committee aren't here with me. I feel a bit like Billy No Mates out there, especially when I'm eliminating various people. I think I'm probably the most unpopular person in the TV studios at the moment.
Congratulations to Steve, our current stakeout champion. You came to the game with £250, which you played into £2,100. You can add that to the £4,475 you've already won, and you can now bank £6,325, leaving you with £250 to bring to Stakeout. Would you like to play again?
Yes, please.
Excellent. Well, we've still got time left to play today, but before we play on, let's take a short break. We'll see you in a couple of moments. Welcome back to Stakeout. We've got 3 new challengers joining Steve, our current champion. So let's meet our new players who hope to knock him off his champion's throne. Very good to see you. Welcome to the programme. What's your name?
Alison.
Alison, let me take that money off you straight away. £250 here to play the game. Now, I see that you have 3 supporters with you. Tell me a bit about these people here.
This is Paul, my partner.
Yeah.
And I've known him for about 23 years.
23 years? That's not bad. I should give you some points for that, really, shouldn't I?
We've been together 20.
You've been together 20, and these 2?
This is Hazel, a friend, and we went to the dogs together.
Did you now?
Yeah, we went to dog classes together.
How lovely. OK, well, I won't ask you. Oh, you're wearing a dog round your neck?
Yeah.
Lovely. OK, well, that's very nice. And this gentleman is?
And this is Gordon, a friend of the family, and I used to work with him in the 70s.
Very nice. Worked with him in the 70s. Nice to see you, Gordon. We'll see you a bit later. Enjoy the show. OK, Steve, well, you know exactly how this works, don't you? £250 straight away. Now, I seem to remember that you have banked so far £6,325. That's quite a total. You're hoping to push that up?
We'll try.
I think you are. You're so laid back about it as well. Fantastic. Enjoy the show, Steve. Good to see you. Your name is?
Salil.
Salil, and £250 straight away. I take that off your waist, no time for that. Now, you have quite a team of supporters here.
I do.
Brightly dressed as well for the occasion.
Yes.
Yeah, what they're trying to do, phase the opposition, I think.
I think so.
Maybe. Who are these people here?
These are my drinking buddies and work colleagues, Amit, Rob, Kuldip, and last but by no means least, Dave.
All right there, Dave. Hopefully you're sober for the programme. I hope so. Enjoy the show. And finally, your name is?
Paul.
Hi there, Paul. Let me take the money from you straight away. And where have you come from today?
Enfield, North
From
London.
Enfield, North London. Who do you have with you?
My friend Neil.
Your friend Neil. Hi, Neil. Enjoy the show. Hope it goes well for you. Now, I've taken £1,000 from our contestants. Let's play Stakeout. Let's find out what their supporters think of them.
Alison is very good at quizzes. She's got a broad general knowledge and she's full of useless facts and information. If I had to describe Alison in a few words, it would be confident and gobby.
Salil thinks he's a bit of a playboy. I'll say thinks. Salil good at quizzes. He can't even spell his own name. From my past experiences, Salil, if we keep him off the complimentary drinks, we've got a small chance of winning.
Paul doesn't take defeat very well at all. He doesn't like being beaten. Paul's areas of weakness, I think, will probably be sports and possibly history.
Steve's supporters still with him in spirit, I'm sure. As always, we give our players another £250, bringing their total starting stake to £500. We start with All In. I'm going to ask you a question with 3 possible answers. A stake of £75 is taken from each of you, which means that there is £300 up for grabs on every question. Whoever answers correctly splits the pot. Here comes your first question. What colour is the cross represented on the national flag of Finland? A, white, B, blue, or C, red? Select your answer now, please. OK, well, the answer we were looking for was B, blue. I can see that 3 of you get your stake back. Here comes the next question. Which of the following is the title of a UK #1 Rolling Stones album? A, Coltsfoot Jelly, B, Oxtail Stew, or C, Goat's Head Soup? Select your answer now. OK, well, the answer we were looking for was C, Goat's Head Soup, and I can see that 3 of you getting your stake back there. Salil, not quite quick enough with that, I'm afraid. Here comes the next question. Which well-known author spent 12 years in Bedford jail? A, John Buchan, B, James Boswell, or C, John Bunyan? OK, well, of course, the correct answer we were looking for is C, John Bunyan. You all get that wrong there, so the £300 stays in the pot for the next question. And we take another £75 from each of you, which means there's £600 of your money up for grabs. Here comes the fourth question. In the 1950s, the Mau Mau were fighting for independence in which country? A, Korea, B, Kenya, or C, Cambodia? Select your answers now, please. Well, the answer we were looking for was B, Kenya, and I can see that two of you get your stakes back there. Very good, taking you up to £600 and £700. OK, well, let's see who's got what in the money stakes right now. Salil, you came to the programme with £500, remember. You've dropped that down to £300, not playing so well there. Paul, £400 you're holding right now. Up next, Alison with £600, but of course, in the lead is Steve with £700. That's how the cash totals stand. Now we give them a chance to take money from the bank as we play Cashing In. Each player gets one chance to cash in. We ask them a question, but do not give them the 3 possible answers. Before I tell them those answers, they've got to decide how much of their money to stake on getting it right. Get it right, and they double their stake. Get it wrong, and the other players get a chance to win that stake from them. Now, Steve, as you have the most money, you get to go first. Here's your question. Shrek and Ants are animated movies made by which film production company? That's your question, Steve. How much money are you prepared to stake on getting it right, please? You're holding £700 right now.
100.
£100, all right. Well, you're playing it safe. You're not so sure, it seems. Here are the 3 possible answers. A, Disney. B, DreamWorks. Or C, Miracle Films. Make your selection, please. OK, well, you've gone for B. I can tell you you're absolutely correct. Very well done indeed. Up to £100, OK? Now, Alison, it's time for your cashing in question. Listen carefully. Here it comes. Which large mammals belong to the family Ursidae? That's your question. How much are you prepared to stake on getting it right?
50.
£50. OK, here are the 3 possible answers you could have, Alison. A, camels, B, bears, or C, seals. Select your answer now, please. OK, you've selected C. I'm afraid that is incorrect. We were looking for B, bears, which means we now have a buzzer question, OK? This is open to the other 3 of you. Listen very carefully. Here comes the question. Doris Karloff is an unflattering nickname associated with which Conservative politician? Steve.
Norman Tebbit?
Not Norman Tebbit, no. I can offer it over to Paul.
Anne Widdecombe.
Anne Widdecombe is correct. Very well done indeed. Taking the money over there from Alison. OK, Paul, it's time for your cashing in question. Listen carefully. Here it comes. 12 Downing Street houses the office of the holder of which government post? That's the question. How much are you prepared to stake on it right now? You're holding £450.
150.
150. OK, remember, you double your stake if you get it right. OK. Here are the 3 possible answers. A, Chief Whip, B, Foreign Secretary, or C, Leader of the House. Select your answer now, please, Paul. OK, you've selected A. I can tell you, you are correct. Well done. Chief Whip is indeed the answer. OK, Salil, it's time for your cashing in question. Here it comes. Listen up. In Absolutely Fabulous, who plays the restaurant critic Hamish, who pops up occasionally? That's the question. You've got £300, Salil. How much are you prepared to stake on getting it right?
I'll stake £50, please.
£50. Not a fan of Absolutely Fabulous?
Not really, no.
Not really. OK, we'll find out. Here are the 3 possible answers. A, Rick Mail, B, Nigel Planer, or C, Adrian Edmondson. Select your answer now, please, Salil. Well, you've gone for B. I'm afraid that is the incorrect answer. The correct answer is, of course, C, Adrian Edmondson, which means we now have a buzzer question. So your money is up for grabs between our other 3 contestants. Listen carefully. Here comes the question. Steve Waugh and Adam Gilchrist are Australian internationals in which sport? Paul.
Rowing.
It's not rowing, no. Steve.
Cricket.
Cricket is correct. Well done. Taking £50 of Salil's money there. OK, well, let's see what's in those cash pots right now. Salil, you came to the programme with 500. You're down to 250 right now. Then we can see that Alison, you're holding £550. Paul, you've got £600 right now. But, of course, in the lead is Steve with £850. Still 4 players left in the game. That's 2 too many. Let's play Face Off. This is where Stakeout takes a nasty turn, as it's time for our players to get personal as they pick on each other. I'm going to ask each of them in turn to pick a player to play against, a question category to play with, and a stake to play for. We'll play face-off until only 2 players remain. Steve, as you're winning, you get to go first. So please pick a player, pick a category, and pick a stake. The most you can play for is everything your opponent has, as long as you can match it. So who's it going to be, Steve? Who are you playing against?
Salil, please.
Against Salil, OK? And now, a category from the following. You have movies, pop, history, science and nature, or food.
Pop.
Pop, OK? And now an amount to play for. Now, of course, Salil is holding £250.
£250.
£250. You've done it before. You think you can do it again, don't you? OK, here is a face-off. It's between Steve and Salil. Here comes the question. Bye Bye Baby was a 1975 hit. Steve.
Bay City Rollers.
Is correct. Well done. You've taken £250 from Salil. You've bankrupted him, which means it's time for Salil to leave the game.
Will it affect my career? I'll probably need some counselling after this, certainly just to get over it. And obviously several pints as well will help.
Paul, it's time now for your face-off, please. Choose a player to play against.
Steve.
Playing against Steve. Now, a category from the following, please. You have movies, history, science and nature, or food.
Food.
Food, OK, and how much of your money are you prepared to stake? Oh, I can't ask you that, I'm afraid there, Paul, because we've come to the end of the programme. A very exciting time. Join us next time on Stakeout.